MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit, rolling along here. You know, the youth movement has been a conversation in NASCAR racing, and we've had the conversation over the last couple of years in sprint car racing as well, Ashley. There's a lot of talented youngsters wheeling these race cars.
There absolutely is, and it's really great for our sport because it's growing, and our veterans are still hanging in there, but now we got the young guns rolling in.
Indeed, in NASCAR racing and in sprint car racing, and a lot of the sprint car youth is based out in California, and joining us on the program is the teenager, son of Gary Scelzi, NHRA drag racing multi-time champion, and the second son, if you will, younger brother of Dominic, but Gio Scelzi joins us on the line. Hello, Gio. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Thanks for having me, guys.
What's going on? How's everything? How's your summer going? What's you're a high school student, so are you out for summer? Are you working on stuff? What's going on with school?
Actually, I'm just starting summer school, so it's hard to do online school and race at the same time. So I'm trying to get as far ahead as I can so I can go have fun racing.
Awesome. So with what you do for school, you're working towards it so you can obviously race. But during the summer, you're kind of out of school. So why are you working on school now?
Well, if I go, when I don't have school and over winter break and stuff, I'll be going to Australia and racing all over the place. So it's nice to kind of have, when you have time off now or time during the week where you don't have to race, it's nice to have summer school classes and hopefully get ahead a little bit for the years to come.
That is really cool. Got to stay ahead of it.
That's right.
Don't let it get behind. That's for
right.
sure.
You need your education.
That's right. Exactly. Gio joins us here, and Gio, multiple wins this year on the King of the West Series, just one of the young rock stars in the sport. Gio, at this point in the season, how do you assess how things are going? Are you pretty content and happy with how the car's been and how you've been?
Oh, yeah, for sure. My crew chief, Brent Ventura, has been doing a fantastic job. He's definitely a young guy like me. He's 21 years old, so me and him are we're learning together. I think that makes my learning curve quicker too, because I put as much input as he wants to. So, we've meshed really well working together, and it's been a great year so far. We've won 4 times, 1 360 show and 3 NARC shows. So it's been good. We have the point lead right now, so I think now it's just we got to keep winning races.
I think we've talked about it a lot before with the youth. They're able to adapt a lot quicker to new things or trying different things. And Gio, this really goes for you because you kind of jump back and forth between cars. Obviously, the Roth car is your number 1 seat, but you're also in a family car, the Harley Van Dyke's number 5 car as well. Talk about what that's like going back and forth between different cars.
Yeah, it's big. It definitely helps me going from a 360 to a 410 and changing chassis too with engines and you have to be able to adapt really quick when you get another race car because you only have the 3 or 4 laps of hot laps and then you're right in time trials. So it's helped me, having people like Harley Van Dyke and my dad and Dennis Roth to give me the opportunity to drive these cars when I really haven't proven myself yet. And now, it's funny, you get other people that want you to race, and you really have to remember the people that gave you your first shot in racing.
Gio, when you look at it, West Coast racing, a lot of racing on the weekend, not many midweek shows out there. Is it something that you would love to do some more racing this summer along the way, or is it pretty content staying out there just on the West Coast doing the weekend gig that you've got along the way with the 2 cars?
Well, I would love to race as much as I possibly can, whether it's in California or on the East Coast or the Midwest. But, the competition out here is second to none. You have Bud Kading, a Silver Crown champion. You got Corey Eliason, who's won multiple King of the West races. You got all kinds of veterans, young guns, Buddy Kofoid, all the guys that are really good and that can really win races. You got, 6 or 7 guys on any given night that can win a King of the West show, and they're really the best in California.
Well, you talk about all these guys. Let's talk about your brother, Dominic. What's it been like working with him? I mean, are you on the phone with him, asking him questions when you can, when he's on the road traveling?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We talk almost every day, so it's big. He's been to all those racetracks back there once or twice, so him going back a second time, I think is going to make him a lot better. Just because it's tough to go to a racetrack, like Attica and Ohio and places like that where you've never seen before. And the racetracks are so unique, it's hard to adapt that quick.
It is really tricky. Dominic, a great run Sunday night, as a matter of fact, with the IRA finished in the 2nd spot. And the Scelzi boys are certainly climbing the ladder and making a lot of headlines, that's for sure. Gio, we need to step away, so hang in there with us. Everyone else, stick around. More with Gio Scelzi in just a moment. Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit here on MAV TV. On the Hercules Tire Hotline is Gio Scelzi, we mentioned at the top of the show, son of Gary Scelzi. And Gio, your father, a multi-time NHRA champion. We just celebrated Father's Day weekend, and we spend a lot of time on Motor Racing Network talking about father's influences. And my question is, your father, so much success in drag racing. How did you and your brothers end up in sprint car racing?
Actually, for drag racing, there really is no lower ranks of drag racing. So with sprint cars, you got micro sprints, outlaw karts, all kinds of racing, lower than sprint car racing, where you can start when you're young. And that's kind of how we got into it. My dad loved dirt racing since he was young, so he really wanted to get us into any kind of racing, and that's really what we were good at.
So is there hope that you're going to go to the straight lines with the NHRA, or are you planning on sticking to the circles?
I love drag racing. I really have a passion for it, but going 300 miles per hour in 3 seconds definitely does not appeal to me whatsoever.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, you've shared with us, Gio, a couple of times your real goal is to, am I accurate in saying, or is it still the same, to maybe pursue a career in NASCAR racing ultimately as you move forward?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would like to be, like a Kyle Larson, where, you race a few years in NASCAR and have a sprint car team where you can kind of give back to the local sprint car racetracks, like, Placerville, how they have their race, and he comes back and races, a few outlaw shows and owns an outlaw team and really helps the racing community.
I love it. And
That's
he's
great.
only 16.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. A little bit about your future, even though you're only 16. But a little bit about your past. Where did it actually start for you? How old were you when you got your start in racing? And what all kind of fields did you negotiate before you got to sprint cars?
Well, I actually started in junior sprints when I was about 6 years old, and I raced around Visalia and Lemoore locally, and then kind of moved up to the micro sprints and got good in that. And then you never really know when you belong somewhere until you really start winning with people. And this year, it was kind of we weren't sure what we were doing at the beginning of the season. We didn't know if we were going to run either 360 races or 410 races. And, I'm so young, it's hard to go, full-fledged into something. And then, running good the first few races in the 410, it was like, hey, might as well go for the King of the West Championship. So it's I've kind of worked through micro sprints, like I said, and finally got to sprint cars.
Gio, we talked a little bit about your brother and the relationship you have with him. I'm curious about the relationship with your father, Gary Scelzi, multi-time NHRA champion, one of the absolute most beloved people in the sport. He's a character. He's a card. I call him a knucklehead. He's just a great guy. What's his level of intensity like being dad to you racing these sprint cars?
You'd be surprised, but he's really not, that intense at the racetrack. He wants to see me do good as bad as I want to do good. So he's really more support than anything. He's always there helping if I need anything, anything at all, really. If we need anything, with sponsors or with anything, he's been around the big time racing, so he really knows how to deal with it.
Totally understands
That's
it.
fantastic.
Well, Gio, I kind of searched through your Facebook and your Twitter. We always like to bring something out about our drivers that most people don't know. And let me tell you, there is nothing on your social media other than sprint cars, pretty much. So what is it that Gio loves to, when you're in your free time, your downtime, what is one thing that you enjoy other than racing?
What's weird, I actually love playing golf. I know it sounds weird, but, with sponsors and stuff, I love playing golf in my free time.
Are you any good at it?
I don't know. We're going to have to play sometime, it sounds like.
Wow.
There
You don't need, no.
I'll drive the golf cart.
My problem is that little windmill thing. He always hits my golf ball. So, now, am I right? Your dad, and a lot of times big time, when you're playing big time, there's a lot of golf tournaments. So do you get a chance, do you actually play golf with your father? Because I think he's played some over the course of time, or is he not into that much?
Yeah, actually, he only started playing when he was really late because, he got the professional deal when he was, 35 years old.
That's right.
So actually with my dad's business with Scelzi Enterprises, I get to go to all kinds of nice golf courses, and they have, the Ford family outings, and we bring all our dealerships in, and we have a good time, play golf. So actually I get to play with all our dealerships for Scelzi Enterprises.
Wow, that's
Perfect.
nice. Very, very nice. Well, you're set to go. A big one tonight out at Calistoga. Rico Abreu putting on a show. And really, when we look at the West Coast sprint car racing, things are rolling along so well. Gio, we do appreciate your time joining us. Continued success with school, with racing, with golf, and with all other things. And we'll look forward to talking to you down the road.
For sure. Thanks for having me, guys.
There we go. That's Gio Scelzi joining us. I will repeat a phrase that we've been saying a lot. The sport is in very good hands.
Yes.
I love the Scelzi story because we get the young drivers and they come out and say, like his brother Dominic, Dominic's goal is to be a World of Outlaw sprint car driver. Gio's to be in NASCAR. So I think it's great because I think everyone can go where they need to go and really good. And Gio wants to be a team owner. Maybe he can own his brother's car. Oh,
that's a good
put
one.
That to Gio,
Yeah.
exactly. Hey, let's step away. When we come back, our Tweet Your Seat tweets of the week, and we'll recap the Lucas Oil ASCS Speed Week coming up next.